Shalom, Yasharala Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And this video is going to be entitled, Ye shall know them by their fruits, and also, all your demons in the dark shall come to light. And this video is actually inspired by two things. You know, that's for most of y'all brothers who, you know, keep up with these different camps. You know that there was a big leader, you know, news spreading around about him doing, you know, some wicked stuff with his family and his wife. And you know, that was really just an example. You got to understand, when certain things happen to certain leaders, especially leaders who are doing things very carnally, you know, the Most High eventually exposes them. And that's the second half of this video, which is inspired by all your demons in the dark shall come to light. Because, you know, me personally, I just woke up from, you know, a dream where I could tell that a spirit was trying to get me to go back into the ways of my lust. And it's very important for y'all brothers, man, because I know a lot of y'all don't go on the internet. Obviously, y'all don't go on the internet, and y'all don't tell a lot of the people the things that you have to battle on a daily basis. But I understand that every single one of us has a past where things constantly attack us. That's why for me, when I talk to people and I find people who are in the word and they never tell me about the things that they fight, they never tell me about the battles that they fight, the sins that they might have and the things that they have to go through, I know that to a certain extent they have a lot of pride, because all of us are wretched, all of us are wicked, all of us have things about ourselves that if the Most High was to evaluate with a light the things we were doing, we would be ashamed and we would be embarrassed. And that's why it's extremely important for brothers and sisters to first and foremost operate in the spirit of truth. And when you operate in the spirit of truth, you're going to be honest about yourself and not try to hide those blemishes that you have, because any man with spiritual discernment, any woman with some sort of, you know, wisdom and discernment is going to be able to tell that you're not the person who you think you are or who you proclaim to be. And the Most High is always going to reveal those specific characters about you to the world when he's ready to expose you. You see what I'm saying? So I want to first start off in the book of Luke chapter 12. So Luke chapter 12 and 2, it says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." So essentially anything that you try to cover and you try to hide, it's eventually going to be revealed. Sometimes it may be revealed in your life on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it may be revealed down the line. But we all understand that down the line, everything is going to be revealed on the day of what? On the day of judgment. Because regardless of how you may feel, the Most High is watching everything. You know, the scriptures in Proverbs says the eyes of the Lord are everywhere, beholding the good and the evil. So the things that you try to hide and you try to go out in front of everybody and exude this light, the Most High is still recording the things that you're doing in the dark. Let's go to the next verse. This is Luke chapter 12 and 3. It says, "Therefore, whatsoever you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which you shall have spoken in the ear in closets will be proclaimed upon the housetops." Meaning the Most High is always going to expose those things about you, especially if you're being somebody who you proclaim to be in public, but behind you in private. You know, this happens all throughout churches. The Catholic Church, allegedly, a lot of these, you know, what do they call them? Deacons or bishops. There's a name that they call them in the Catholic Church. They being exposed for doing what? For pederasty. You see what I'm saying? Pedophilia. You know, a lot of things with these celebrities. I'm not going to speak no names for no defamation lawsuit, but we all understand the gods that they follow. You know, what they do behind the scenes, behind closed doors for Saturnalia and for Pan and for Bacchus and all that. But also, man, look, we have to be real. If you're a man in the flesh, you are capable of doing these things. So that's why it's not surprising to me that, you know, an Israelite leader who's been running after a decent sized camp and getting all this clout and fame and fortune, that comes out about him. And I'm not trying to like specify what it was, because I ain't slandering. It's none of my business, but I'm just using this as an example, you know. So, you know, that's why for y'all brothers, man, you got to be extremely aware of the battles that you fight, and don't try to come off across like you're this person, because again, the Most High will expose you. We're gonna go to the book of Matthew chapter 7. This is Matthew 7 and 15. It says, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." And this is just in regards to people who appear righteous, who appear like they're following after a Mashiach, like they're sheep, but inwardly they have ravening wolves. They may be predators. They may be people who want to exploit you for gain. They may have their personal gain, or they may just have a wicked spirit on them, but on the outside, you know, they appear like they're righteous. Let's go to verse 16. It says, you will know them by their fruits. Meaning, just like how a tree has rotten fruits when it's time to spring, even though it may seem super, you know, in good health and growing properly, you're only going to know when it's time for them to be harvested, right? Again, we understand the Most High is going to reveal your true character on the day of judgment. So the people who act a certain way behind the scenes but appear righteous in the front, the Lord will expose them. But you can essentially discern them through what? Through the Holy Spirit, through the fruits of the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? It says, do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. So you got to look at the congregation as a whole. You got to look at who taught that congregation. And you got to really evaluate, do they walk by the fruits of the Spirit? Do they walk with peace, with love, with joy, with long suffering, with temperance? Are they very up and down? Are they very cantankerous? You see what I'm saying? Are they consumed by their lust? Do they have a lot of pride? You know, let's actually go to the book of Galatians chapter 5 and 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit and you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So if you're walking according to the Spirit, your flesh is not going to be fulfilled through the lust that it craves. You see what I'm saying? It says, for the flesh lust against the Spirit and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness. And those are what your demons play on. You know, essentially when you start to, you know, get very lustful or very emotional and you're feeding into that, you're allowing spiritual portals and access for the demons to have a certain level of power over you, because again, they can control you through your flesh. That is the avenue to control you through your flesh, right? Verse 20, it says, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envying, murderers, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. Of the such which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So essentially, if you're walking in your flesh, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And again, that cuts that 2/3 doctrine where people think they can just act and move a certain way on this plane of existence and that they're going to make it into the kingdom anyway. You don't think the demons feed off of that? But anyway, let's keep going. Verse 27, it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are of Mashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So, you know, it's extremely important to remember the fruits, because that's how you discern people. You know, like I said, me personally, you know, I've dealt and I've battled with lust. And some of the brothers who know me personally, I'm willing enough to admit it that sometimes I struggle with it. And that's no excuse. That's why it's extremely imperative for us to constantly be addressing the battle. Because again, brothers, we're in a constant battle. A lot of times, man, you take your foot off the gas, your mind isn't focused on the higher things, to realize that you're in a spiritual battle, regardless of how much money you're making, regardless of the people you have around you, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of the woman that you may have, you're in a constant battle. And if you take your foot off the gas, if you put down your shield, if you put down your sword, you're going to allow them demons to come in and to attack you. We're going to go to the book of Ephesians. So this is the book of Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So understand, when you're in your flesh and blood, you're not fighting against that specifically, but you're fighting against the spirits that are trying to control you through your flesh and your blood. When you see things like artificial intelligence, when you see things like what is it called, the bio stuff that they're doing, the nanotechnology, all this technology, yes, it might be real technology, but it's all being controlled and used by dark, wicked powers, because we're spiritual beings at the end of the day. So we're all influenced by spiritual beings to create and move society towards a specific place, right? So verse 13, it says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand with all the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, have your loins girded about with truth. So if you can protect yourself when you're girded about in truth, in fullness, right? And have on the breastplate of righteousness. When you move after righteousness, that protects you. Verse 15, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So you have to have faith in this battle, and whatever allows you to be able to grow and be built in the faith, cling on to that. You see what I'm saying? And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, because those are going to be the things that can repel those dark forces, that can repel those forces have been around you your whole life. You got to understand that if you're dealing with certain family traumas, if you have people like your parents or your grandparents who have certain demons, those demons have been around the entire time. They know what's going on, and as you start to grow and develop, they come on to you. I made a post the other day where I said an addiction is really just a generational curse that's taking a different form in the same area, because again, there's no new thing under the sun. If you're addicted to pornography this generation, then your father was probably addicted to porn, or harlots, your great grandfather, whatever it may be. You don't know your family the way that the Most High does. You don't know your family the way that these spirits have. So you have to understand, when you're going and dealing with things, these demons is trying to come along with the ride for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's extremely important to address those things and to constantly be fighting those things, because if you're not fighting the good fight of faith, you're going to lose that armor, and you're going to start doing things behind the scenes that a lot of people are going to look at you like you crazy. And, again, the Most High, Yahweh Shai spoke on people like this. Let's go to Matthew 23. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. It says, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves, knowing ye not know yourself, how that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is in you, except you be reprobates. So the way to prove that Yahweh Shai is with you is if you're not walking like reprobate silver. And that's in regards to how you walk according to the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? Verse 6, it says, but I trust that you shall know that we are not reprobates. So you have to truly examine yourself. Like, how are you walking on a day-to-day basis? How, that's why you're supposed to read the scriptures, because you're supposed to look at Yahweh Shai, and you're supposed to see if you're becoming a reflection of him. Even James talks about that. Let's go to James real quick. This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 22. It says, but be you doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. And it's very easy to hear a video, listen to a video, and, essentially be saying that you're doing the works of the Most High, but your actions is not aligned with your words. Verse 23, it says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholds himself and goes his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So basically, the glass is like looking into a mirror. So it says, if you're a hearer of the word but not a doer, you're like unto a man who looks at who you are in the mirror, but then when you leave, you forget who you're supposed to be. The mirror is a reflection of the scriptures. You're looking and you're reading about how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to conduct yourself. But once you get away from the Bible, once you get away from that light, which exposes how you really are and how you need to be, you revert back into that old man. You revert back into that carnal man. You see? So again, that's why James reinforces this, because you got to focus your light. You got to focus your eye. Me and brothers, we did a little lesson on that on Thursday, but I'm gonna pull it up in Matthew chapter 6. This is Matthew chapter 6 and 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. So you got to focus your eyes on the proper things, man. Because where your eye is, where your mind is, there will your body also go to as well. It says, if therefore your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. So again, you got to be focused on the light. Me and brothers, we did a video on this dude like 4 years ago. I made certain videos about their camp and how they was selling counsel and, You know, used to follow a lot of GMS videos. You know, they expose them and stuff like that. That's why I don't really care to do a full rebuke and put bro face in the video. But you can tell that they were focused on the things of the world, focused on the cloud of the world. And it was very obvious that they were trying to get money out of their congregation in regards to them charging counsel and proclaiming that you're a high priest, a Levite, you know, so people could pay tithes. Like, that's like the oldest trick in the book, bro. You know what I mean? You know, if a man want to pay somebody alms or something because you're a leader, that's one thing. But don't start trying to say that you're required to pay tithes, because none of y'all are of the Levitical priesthood. None of y'all can back up your genealogy to the tribe of Levi. I don't care what country you came from, bro. You know, and that's what a lot of these dudes be doing. They be saying, oh, I'm from this country, I'm a Levite, y'all got to pay us tithes. Like, come on, bro. Anyway, though, let's keep going. It says, but if your eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High. Man, it's really that simple. You can't have your purpose and your spirit aligned with the Most High, but then at the same time be chasing the things after the world. You got to really separate the two. Like, yeah, you know, we got jobs and we got work and things like that, and there may be days where we have to put in a lot of time and energy towards our business, or, you know, getting a job and things like that. But you have to remember what is the great commandment that Yahweh Shai said. He said, love the Most High with all thy mind, thy soul, thy heart. And you don't love the Most High by saying you love the Most High in itself, but by your actions, by where your spirit is aligned, and with the things that you're doing daily. Are they a reflection of your love for the Most High? Not. And again, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. None of us are. But, you know, it's the difference from you having a sincere heart and stumbling compared to you trying to put on a persona and act a certain way in pride and in arrogance to the point where the Most High humbles you. Because again, like Luke 12 chapter 2 says, everything in the dark will come to light. And it reminds me of that lyric that Jay-Z did in The Takeover. He says, don't make me expose you for those that don't know you. You know, the Most High knows all of us, front to back, from a little kid all the way up to whatever age we are right now. So it's extremely important, you know, let it be a lesson, y'all brothers, man. If y'all fighting demons, or you dealing with demons and you just leaving them behind the scenes, you gotta fight it, because the Most High is gonna allow those demons to come out in one way, shape, or form, whether it be through you, whether it be through your woman, whether it be through the children that you may have. You see what I'm saying? So all praises to the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, it's your brother Ash signing out.